Hello folks, welcome back to the Urban Rider Studio. Now it's never fun when you have to stick on your winter gloves, but if they are a good pair of winter gloves, then it makes the process just a little bit less painful. So I've got a great option in front of me here. These come to us from the company REVIT. They make some of my favorite gloves anyway. These are the REVIT Livengood, or Livengood, however you want to pronounce it, 2 gore-tex. At the time of making this video, these come in at £160, which I have to say actually does sound a little bit on the higher end, but if you compare these to similar gloves with the amount of features these have, I think they're about right. If you're looking for some more affordable options from REVIT, though, they've got plenty to choose from. We've actually got 2 on the table, actually. The Chevak 2, which may be out around the same sort of time as these gloves, but if it's not, it will be with us very soon. And then we have the Waden as well, which are much more affordable. Obviously, they don't have quite the same level of features, but they'll be perfectly good to get you through a winter, depending on what you need. Now, REVIT do make some of my favourite gloves. There are a few different reasons for that. I'll mention them as we go through, but firstly, it's actually the consistent sizing on them. I know my size in REVIT gloves, and that is consistent throughout their range from what I find. So I'm a size 9 hand, and generally speaking, that will put me in a size large comfortably. Sometimes I do decide to go for an extra large, especially with my winter gloves, just so I've got a bit of extra room around my hand. But I think on this occasion, actually, it's really comfortable in the large. I'll probably just stick with that. Something else that I love is the pull tab at the bottom, making them so much easier to get on in the first place. And I can't believe I have to say this, but their liners are consistent as well. And for a winter glove, when you might have wet hands when you're sticking them in there, the last thing you want is to pull out that liner. And on some other gloves from some other manufacturers, that is the case, and it drives me mental. So the liner on these is reliable. The fabrics they've used are a mix on the outside. So you've got soft shell, you've got polyurethane, you have goat skin for the palm, which is really hard wearing, nice and flexible, often used in gloves, often used in REVIT gloves as well. And you've got grippy sections to your palm there as well to enable you to have a better grip at the bars, and actually got a decent level of feel. They are slightly thicker than the other 2 gloves I've got here, but for winter gloves, I would still say they are an acceptable kind of size, and there's no getting around it. If you want something to keep your hand warm on those really cold days, it needs to have some bulk to it. You've also got areas of reflective material, like the logo on there. You've got something to use a touchscreen on your index finger and your thumb, and you've got a soft cloth visor wiper, which I prefer to the hard plastic versions because it's kinder to your visor. They are, of course, CE approved. They use a PWR shield. You've got reinforcement across these, so they're heavily abrasion resistant. They've got hard knuckle outer armor that is backed by temper foam to make it more comfortable against your knuckles, and you definitely can't feel any restriction from that armor. You've also got extra reinforcement to the back of your middle finger and your ring finger, actually, as well. And then you've got a hard palm slider. Always recommend when it comes to palm sliders that it does slide rather than gripping the tarmac, so that's good to see. And then on the other side of your palm there, you've got some softer reinforcement. Obviously, they've got a long gauntlet on them, so that you can stick that over your jacket. And that is the recommendation when it comes to winter gloves, like fully dedicated winter gloves. You want to stick this over the top of your sleeves. Now, I personally prefer a shorter cuff, and I prefer how that feels against my jackets, and it tends to be a little bit more universal in terms of fit when it comes to my jackets. But having said that, I know this is technically the correct way to wear your winter gloves, so you stick that over the top of your sleeves. Waterproofing on this occasion comes from gore-tex, which you'll notice from the branding that's, I was going to say unsubtle, but actually it's black, so it kind of blends in there. You've also got it on the pull tab. And obviously that is going to bump the price up over their in-house membranes. It should also give you a bit more confidence as to the rugged durability of it because it goes through some strict tests. Now I have to say I've never had any huge problems with their own in-house liners, but some people will get reassurance from that. And it should also be slightly more breathable as well. It also uses Gore Grip technology, which I'm told enables it to have a bit more feel and grip at the bars, although I can't feel a huge difference myself. Something I can definitely feel the difference of, though, is the Primaloft Gold insulating layer. So you've got 200 gram to the back of your hand, I believe 60 gram on the palm, but it is thinner on the palm, so you've got better feel. Obviously the back of your hand is more exposed, so it needs to be thicker in that area. And it is doing a good job, even in the studio, of keeping my hand insulated. It also uses a high loft fur liner, which mimics the insulating properties of fur and traps a pocket of air around your hand. And again, from my experience from using this stuff in the past, that does work. But aside from that, it just makes it really, really comfortable to stick your hand in. It is a nice place to be. Great level of protection, an awesome option if you are looking for something reliable with some clever features across it for the winter. They have other options as well. I'll drop links down below if you want to check out the rest of REVIT's range. But if you really want to throw the kitchen sink at your hands this winter and make sure they are going to be nice and warm as you're riding, then this is definitely a good option to look at. Let us know your thoughts on this in the comment section, and I'll see you soon. Bye.